Gaza, once a bustling city, a place where the streets were alive with the sounds of vendors calling out their wares, children laughing and playing, and the hum of daily life. The markets were crowded, filled with the aroma of spices and the vibrant colors of fresh produce. It was a city that thrived on its community, its culture, and its history, now a graveyard of shattered concrete and broken dreams. The once lively streets are now filled with the remnants of what used to be. Buildings that once stood tall and proud are now reduced to rubble, their skeletal remains a stark reminder of the violence that tore through this city. Dreams that were once nurtured within these walls now lie buried beneath the debris. Buildings lie in ruins, monuments to a ceasefire that smells strongly of gunpowder. The air is thick with the scent of destruction, a bitter reminder that peace, if it can be called that, came at a heavy price. These ruins stand as silent witnesses to the countless lives disrupted, the futures stolen, and the hopes dashed. It's the silence that gets you, the absence of life, the void where laughter and chatter once filled the air. Now there's only a haunting stillness, a quiet that feels almost unnatural. It's a silence that speaks volumes, telling the stories of those who once lived here, their voices now silenced by the conflict. No more bombs, no more screams. The explosions that once shattered the night have ceased and the cries of fear and pain have faded. But this calm is deceptive, a fragile peace that could be broken at any moment. The streets may be quiet, but the memories of the chaos remain, etched into the very fabric of the city, just an eerie quiet that whispers of the horrors that were. This silence is not peaceful, it's filled with the echoes of the past, the ghosts of those who suffered and perished. It's a quiet that chills you to the bone, a reminder that the scars of war run deep and the wounds are far from healed. Imagine, if you will, your childhood home, gone. The place where you took your first steps, celebrated birthdays, and created countless memories, now nothing more than a pile of rubble. The walls that once provided comfort and security are now just broken fragments, scattered across the ground. Your favorite park where you chased pigeons as a kid? Obliterated. The swings and slides where you spent countless hours playing with friends are now twisted metal and splintered wood. The green grass where you once ran freely is now a barren wasteland, a stark contrast to the joy it once brought. This is the reality for the people of Gaza. Their lives have been turned upside down, their homes and neighborhoods destroyed. Yet amidst the devastation, they continue to persevere. They wake up each day and try to piece together the fragments of their shattered lives, holding on to whatever hope they can find. This is the aftermath of peace. A peace that came too late for many, and one that feels more like a pause in the violence rather than an end to it. The city bears the scars of the conflict, and its people carry the weight of their losses. This is what remains when the dust settles and the world moves on. This is what the news cameras don't show you. The hidden corners of the city where the destruction is most severe, the places where the pain is most palpable. The stories of those who have lost everything, their voices often drowned out by the broader narrative. These are the untold stories, the ones that deserve to be heard. But life, or what's left of it, goes on. The people of Gaza are resilient, finding ways to survive and rebuild amidst the ruins. They come together as a community, supporting one another and finding strength in their shared experiences. They refuse to let the conflict define them, holding on to their humanity even in the darkest of times. People emerge from the wreckage, their faces etched with trauma. The pain and loss are evident in their eyes, but so is their determination. They have endured unimaginable hardships, yet they continue to move forward, driven by the hope of a better future. They pick through the debris, searching for anything, anyone familiar, a favorite toy, a family photograph, a pulse. These small remnants of their past lives offer a glimmer of comfort, a connection to the life they once knew. Each discovery is a reminder of what they have lost, but also of what they still have to hold on to. The ceasefire might have stopped the bombs, but it hasn't stopped the bleeding. The wounds, both physical and emotional, are still fresh. The people of Gaza continue to suffer, their lives forever changed by the conflict. Yet, amidst the pain, there is a resilience, a strength that refuses to be broken. This is Gaza, a city of ghosts but also a city of survivors. The guns have fallen silent. The echoes of the last shots still linger in the air, a haunting reminder of the violence that once filled this space. The battlefield, now eerily quiet, stands as a testament to the recent chaos. The silence is almost deafening, a stark contrast to the cacophony of war. A fragile quiet hangs in the air. The streets of Gaza, usually bustling with life, are now empty and still. The tranquility of the landscape at dusk is deceptive, masking the underlying tension that permeates the atmosphere. This quiet is not the peace that the people of Gaza long for. It is a temporary reprieve, a momentary pause in the ongoing conflict. But for the people of Gaza, this silence is not peace. It's a holding pattern. They walk cautiously, their faces etched with worry and uncertainty. Every step is taken with the knowledge that this calm could be shattered at any moment. The daily life of Gaza's residents is a delicate balance between hope and fear, a constant struggle to maintain a semblance of normalcy in the face of adversity. A deep breath before the next wave crashes down. The fear is palpable. It is seen in the eyes of the children, wide with anxiety, and in the tense expressions of families who have endured so much. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation, as if the very air is holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable return of violence. It hangs heavy in the air, thicker than the dust that coats everything. The remnants of destruction are everywhere, a constant reminder of the fragility of their current peace. The dust settles on buildings and streets, but it cannot cover the scars left by the conflict. The haze that blankets Gaza is not just physical, it is a metaphor for the uncertainty that shrouds their future. The ceasefire is a band-aid on a gaping wound. It offers a brief respite, but it does not heal the deep-seated issues that plague the region. The temporary repairs on buildings and the makeshift medical treatments are a stark illustration of the inadequacy of the current peace. The wounds, both physical and emotional, are far from healed. It stops the immediate bleeding, but the infection festers. The injuries may be bandaged, but the underlying problems remain. The healthcare workers do their best to tend to the wounds, but they are fighting a losing battle against the deeper issues that continue to cause suffering. The infection of conflict and unrest continues to spread, unchecked and untreated. The root causes of the conflict remain unaddressed. The protests and tensions at the borders are a clear indication that the underlying issues have not been resolved. The people of Gaza are still fighting for their rights, their freedom, and their dignity. The conflict zones are a stark reminder that true peace cannot be achieved without addressing the root causes of the unrest. Gaza is still an open-air prison, its people trapped, their lives on hold. The crowded streets under the watchful eyes of the military are a testament to the lack of freedom and autonomy. The aerial view of Gaza reveals a city under siege, its people living in a constant state of limbo. Their lives are on hold, their dreams deferred, as they wait for a true and lasting peace. Imagine living under siege, your every move monitored. The surveillance cameras and the watchful eyes of the authorities create an atmosphere of constant surveillance and control. The people of Gaza are not free to move, to live their lives without fear. Their every action is scrutinized, their every movement restricted. This is not peace. It is a state of perpetual vigilance and anxiety. Imagine having to rebuild your life again and again from the rubble. The families who sift through the debris, searching for remnants of their former lives, are a testament to the resilience and determination of the human spirit. The reconstruction efforts are a symbol of hope, but they are also a reminder of the cyclical nature of the conflict. Each time they rebuild, they do so with the knowledge that it could all be destroyed again. This is the peace that has been brokered. The negotiation tables and peace talks are a step in the right direction, but they are not enough. The international diplomats may have good intentions, but their efforts often fall short of addressing the real issues. The peace that has been brokered is fragile, and it does not provide the security and stability that the people of Gaza need. This is the reality for the people of Gaza. Despite the challenges, they carry on with their daily lives. The crowded marketplaces are a testament to their resilience and determination to live as normally as possible. They go about their routines, finding moments of joy and connection amidst the uncertainty. This is their reality, a constant balancing act between hope and despair. But amidst the ruins, the human spirit endures. People help each other. The sense of community and mutual support is a beacon of hope in the darkness. They come together in times of crisis, offering aid and comfort to those in need. This spirit of solidarity is what keeps them going, even in the face of overwhelming odds. They share what little food and water they have. The distribution of necessities and the communal meals are a testament to their generosity and compassion. They may have little, but they are willing to share it with others. This sense of community and shared responsibility is what sustains them, providing a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak situation. They mourn their dead and cling to the living. The funeral processions and the grave sites are a stark reminder of the cost of the conflict. They mourn their losses, but they also hold on to the living, finding strength in their connections with each other. The act of mourning is both a tribute to those who have been lost and a reaffirmation of their commitment to continue living. They dare to hope, even when all hope seems lost. The children playing amidst the ruins, their faces filled with hope and resilience, are a testament to the enduring spirit of the people of Gaza. They find moments of joy and laughter even in the midst of destruction. Their hope is a powerful force, a reminder that even in the darkest times the human spirit can endure and thrive. World leaders line up, microphones at the ready. They condemn the violence, their voices echoing through the halls of power. The cameras flash, capturing their stern faces and resolute tones. They express their deep concern about the humanitarian situation, their words carefully chosen to convey empathy and urgency. They speak of the need for immediate action, for compassion, for humanity. They promise aid, reconstruction, a better future. They paint a picture of hope, of a world where peace prevails and suffering is a distant memory. Their promises are grand, their visions inspiring. It's a well-rehearsed dance, one we've seen countless times before. The same words, the same gestures, the same solemn nods. It's a performance, a show put on for the world to see, but behind the carefully crafted words and the solemn expressions, a different story unfolds. A story of power and profit, of deals made in the shadows, of promises broken. The same countries that claim to be brokers of peace are the ones supplying the weapons. They speak of disarmament while their factories churn out arms. They call for ceasefires while their shipments fuel the fire. The ones profiting from the bloodshed, the arms dealers, the manufacturers, the politicians with stakes in the industry. They count their profits while the world counts its dead. The ones turning a blind eye to the suffering. The hypocrisy is staggering. They speak of peace, but their actions tell a different story, a story of greed, of indifference, of betrayal. These leaders speak of peace while their hands are stained with the blood of innocents. They offer words of comfort while their actions bring only pain. They are the architects of despair. They offer condolences while they continue to fuel the conflict. Their words are empty, their sympathy a facade. They speak of sorrow while they profit from the suffering. They pledge aid, but their promises ring hollow in the ears of those who have heard it all before. The people have learned to see through the lies, to recognize the empty words for what they are. And what of the people of Gaza? They are the ones who bear the brunt of this hypocrisy. They are the ones who suffer while the world watches. They are the ones who pay the price. They are left to pick up the pieces, to bury their dead, to rebuild their lives, again. They are the ones who must find the strength to carry on, to hope for a better future despite the broken promises, with little more than empty promises and the bitter taste of betrayal. They have heard it all before, seen it all before. They know that the words of the powerful are just that, words, and words alone cannot heal their wounds. Section 4. Defense, try offense. Israel has a right to defend itself. It's a phrase we hear often, a mantra repeated ad nauseum. But what about the right of Palestinians to exist, to live in peace, to raise their children without fear? Let's call this what it is, an imbalance of power. An occupying force armed to the teeth unleashing its might on a besieged population. This isn't self-defense, this is aggression. This is state-sanctioned violence. Look at the numbers. Look at the casualty figures. The sheer asymmetry of it all should make you sick. This is not a war. This is a massacre, and the world is complicit in its silence. Don't be fooled by the propaganda. This isn't about Hamas versus Israel. This is about humanity versus barbarity. This is about justice versus oppression. Section 5. The West's blind eye. Let's be clear, the West is not an innocent bystander in this conflict. They are active participants. They arm Israel, they veto UN resolutions condemning their actions, and they turn a blind eye to the human rights abuses.
The conflict between Israel and Palestine is decades old. It has deep historical roots stretching back to the early 20th century, when competing national movements began to clash over the same land. It is a story of displacement, dispossession, and death. Generations of Palestinians have been forced from their homes, their lands taken, their lives upended. It is a fight for land, for dignity, and for freedom. The Palestinian people have long sought recognition and self-determination, striving to reclaim their rights and their homeland. At its core, this is about the illegal occupation of Palestinian land. The international community has repeatedly condemned the occupation, yet it persists, creating a cycle of violence and resistance. Israel continues to build settlements, pushing Palestinians out. Homes are demolished, families are torn apart. These settlements are often built on land that Palestinians have lived on for generations, further entrenching the occupation. This is the reality on the ground. For many Palestinians, daily life is a struggle for survival amidst the ruins of their former homes and communities. The settlements are not just houses, they represent a broader strategy to control and annex Palestinian land, altering the demographic and geographic landscape. They are part of a system of control. Checkpoints, watchtowers, and barriers are all tools used to restrict Palestinian movement and maintain dominance. This system restricts Palestinian movement and access to resources. It affects every aspect of daily life, from going to work to attending school to accessing medical care. It is a system of apartheid. The separation and unequal treatment of Palestinians is stark and pervasive, creating a divided and segregated society. This is not just an opinion. Numerous human rights organizations have documented these abuses and called for action. Human rights organizations around the world agree. Reports from Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and others highlight the systemic injustices faced by Palestinians. This is a humanitarian crisis. We cannot ignore it. The conditions in refugee camps are dire, with limited access to basic necessities and constant threats of violence. Imagine your home, your land taken. Imagine the pain of losing everything you have built, the place where your memories and dreams reside. Imagine living under constant threat. The fear of violence, the uncertainty of safety, the trauma of conflict are daily realities for many Palestinians. This is the Palestinian experience. It is a life marked by resilience and resistance, but also by profound suffering and loss. It is a story that needs to be heard. The voices of those affected by this conflict must be amplified and acknowledged. It's a story that demands justice. The international community must act to support a just and lasting peace, one that respects the rights and dignity of all people involved. We hear about ceasefires, we hope for peace, but the cycle of violence continues. Why? Because ceasefires address symptoms, not the disease. They offer temporary pauses but ignore the root cause occupation. Imagine a band-aid on a bullet wound. It might stop the bleeding for a bit, but it won't heal the injury. Ceasefires are like that. They might bring a brief quiet, but they don't address the underlying injustice. Without addressing the occupation, there can be no real peace. The current situation is unsustainable. It breeds resentment and fuels extremism on both sides. Only a just and lasting solution can break this cycle of violence. Many world leaders and experts agree. A two-state solution is the only way forward. This means an independent Palestinian state alongside Israel. Both states would live in peace and security. This is not a radical idea. It is the basis of international consensus. Leaders like Dominique de Villepin have spoken forcefully in support of Palestine. They recognize the urgency of this issue. They see the two-state solution as the only path to a just and lasting peace. This is not just about land. It is about human dignity. Palestinians deserve the same rights and freedoms as anyone else. They deserve self-determination. They deserve a future free from fear and oppression. Israel resists the two-state solution. It continues to expand settlements. It uses military force to suppress Palestinian resistance. And it doesn't stop there. Israel also employs sophisticated techniques to control the narrative. Israel labels any criticism as anti-Semitism. It tries to silence dissent and shut down debate. This tactic is dangerous. Criticizing a government's actions is not the same as hating its people. Confusing the two is a way to avoid accountability. This silencing tactic is effective. It makes people afraid to speak out, but we cannot be silent. We must call out injustice wherever we see it. The truth has a way of coming out, no matter how hard you try to bury it. Section 5. Justice delayed, holding leaders accountable. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israel's Prime Minister, has a lot to answer for. His policies have led to suffering and death. He has been accused of war crimes. The International Criminal Court is investigating, but will justice be served? Powerful nations often protect their allies. They use their influence to shield them from consequences. This double standard undermines international law. It sends a dangerous message that might makes right. We need to hold leaders accountable for their actions. No one is above the law. Justice delayed is justice denied. The pursuit of peace requires accountability and a commitment to human rights for all. Section 6. A familiar pattern. Global echoes of oppression. Throughout history, the echoes of oppression have reverberated across the globe, transcending borders and cultures. The Palestinian struggle is not unique. It is a poignant example of a broader, more pervasive issue. We see similar patterns of oppression around the world. From the streets of Hong Kong to the fields of Sudan, the cries for justice and freedom are universal. Powerful nations exploit weaker ones. They impose their will through military might and economic dominance, often leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. They control resources and dictate terms. The extraction of oil, minerals, and other valuable resources often comes at the expense of local communities, who are left impoverished and disenfranchised. They silence dissent and justify their actions. Through media censorship and brutal crackdowns on protests, they maintain their grip on power, stifling any opposition. Think about the Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar. Their plight is a stark reminder of the consequences of unchecked oppression. Think about the Uyghurs in China. Their cultural suppression and mass detentions highlight the lengths to which oppressive regimes will go to maintain control. Think about the ongoing conflicts in Yemen and Syria. These situations are complex, with deep-rooted historical, political, and social factors at play. But they share a common thread: the powerful trampling the rights of the vulnerable. The struggle for power and control often leads to the marginalization and suffering of the most vulnerable populations. The Palestinian struggle is a reminder. It serves as a symbol of resistance and the enduring fight for justice and self-determination. It reminds us that injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. As Martin Luther King Jr. famously said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." This timeless message resonates now more than ever. We need to stand up for what is right. It is our collective responsibility to challenge oppression and advocate for those who cannot speak for themselves. We need to fight for a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. Only then can we hope to create a future where justice and equality are not just ideals, but realities for all. Section 7. Amplifying the truth, social media as a weapon. The information landscape is changing. Social media is a powerful tool for awareness. It allows us to bypass traditional media. It gives a voice to the voiceless. We see videos from Palestine going viral. We see first-hand accounts of the violence. We see the humanity of the Palestinian people. This is crucial because for too long the narrative has been controlled by those in power. Social media helps us break through the propaganda. It allows us to connect with people on the ground. It empowers us to educate ourselves and others. This is citizen journalism at its finest. Section 8. From hashtags to the streets. A global movement rises. Awareness is growing. What started as a digital outcry has now transformed into a powerful, tangible force. Social media has played a crucial role in spreading awareness, but the movement has transcended the virtual world. People around the world are waking up to the Palestinian plight. From the bustling streets of New York to the historic avenues of London, individuals are coming together to voice their support. The message is clear. The world is watching, and it demands justice. We see protests in major cities. These gatherings are not just limited to the West, they span continents, from Asia to Africa, Europe to the Americas. Each protest is a testament to the growing solidarity with the Palestinian cause. We see boycotts of Israeli products. The boycott, divestment, sanctions (BDS) movement has gained significant traction, urging consumers to reconsider their purchases and stand against the occupation. This economic pressure is a powerful tool in the fight for justice. We see students demanding divestment from companies that profit from the occupation. University campuses have become hotbeds of activism, with young voices leading the charge. Their passion and determination are inspiring a new generation of activists. This global movement is gaining momentum. Every day more people join the cause, adding their voices to the growing chorus demanding change. The energy is palpable and the commitment is unwavering. It is fueled by outrage at injustice. The images of suffering and oppression have ignited a fire in the hearts of many. This movement is a response to the pain and suffering endured by the Palestinian people. It is driven by a desire for peace and a belief in human rights for all. The call for justice is not just about ending the occupation. It's about ensuring that every individual, regardless of their background, can live in peace and dignity. This is what solidarity looks like. People from different cultures, religions, and backgrounds are coming together, united by a common cause. Their unity is a powerful statement against division and hatred. This movement is diverse and decentralized. It is not led by a single organization or individual, but is a collective effort of countless groups and individuals. This decentralized nature makes it resilient and adaptable. It is made up of people from all walks of life, from students to seniors, from activists to ordinary citizens. Everyone has a role to play. This inclusivity is the strength of the movement. It is united by a common goal: justice for Palestine. The chants, the banners, the speeches all echo the same demand: an end to the occupation and a just solution for the Palestinian people. This is how we create change. We raise our voices. Every shout, every chant, every speech is a step towards justice. The power of collective action cannot be underestimated. We demand better from our leaders. The movement is not just about raising awareness. It's about holding those in power accountable. We call on our leaders to take a stand and act in the interest of justice and human rights. We show up for what we believe in. Every protest, every march, every act of solidarity is a testament to our commitment. Together we can make a difference. Together we can bring about change. Section 9. No more band-aids. The urgent need for action. Ceasefires are not enough. We need lasting peace. But peace cannot exist without justice. The occupation must end. Palestinians deserve freedom, equality, and self-determination. This is not someone else's problem. This is about our shared humanity. It is about standing up for what is right. We cannot be bystanders to oppression. Educate yourself. Speak out against injustice. Support organizations working for peace. Demand action from your elected officials. Every